Runescape, a game where it can take players hundreds of hours to complete a single item on the collection log. But what if you had to complete an entire page before you could do anything else? I'm about to take on a collection log so rare that less than 1% of players have completed it, which makes this grind take place in the worst chunk in Runescape. Why am I doing this? Well, this is my Xtreme One Chunk Iron Man. I currently have access to only these chunks, and I have to complete everything possible in a chunk before randomly rolling a new one. This could mean getting a 99, killing thousands of NPCs, or in this instance, completing an entire page in the collection log. Let's see where this chunk takes me. But before we move on to that, I need to roll a new chunk, so let's look at what is on the cards. Chunk 1 is home to the big chompy bird hunting quest, and everything that will require me to do. Chunk 5 is the eastern side of Unil, a very scary chunk with a lot to do. Chunk 6 is the gnome maze, and all the monsters hiding inside of there, and the remaining chunks are basically taskless. This is the most scared I have ever been to roll a chunk. My palms are actually sweating, but let's do it. Ooh, the Tree Gnome Village. That's got to have some new tasks for me to do. Oh, it says there's no tasks. Maybe I can't get into the maze. You know what? Let's go explore and see. I've unlocked the chunk and I'm now able to get into this little area here, but I don't think I'm able to get past the bush. This is as far as I can go, so I still need to unlock 2 other chunks before I'm able to adventure inside of the maze. Let's roll again. No, there it is. Big chompy bird hunting, here I come. Damn, that is a long list of tasks. My new chunk is home to 3 new faces, Rants, Vicey and Bugs. These are the final NPCs that I need to complete the big chompy bird hunting quest. Completing this quest isn't as great as it seems. You see, this quest unlocks one of the longest, most boring grinds I may ever endure on this account, chompy bird hunting. But I don't have to kill just one. Not even 100, not even 1,000, but 4,000 chompy birds. And the worst part, I have no achievement diaries completed to boost my spawn rates. My range gear is practically non-existent, and my range level is so low that I can't even equip the ogre bow needed for the quest. This may be the worst chunk in RuneScape. Before I can even get into the quest, I need to train up my range level. Let's see what I have in the bank for range training. My best in slot is going to be a short bow, as I don't have access to a bowstring in my chunks to make a better one. And bronze and iron arrows are the best this bow can shoot. As for armour, I have absolutely nothing with a range bonus. My setup is looking rough, but I'll make it work. Now, what should I kill? One of the quest requirements is wolf bones, and I only have access to these level 64 wolves, which hit me very hard. But if I can manage to find a safe spot, then I should be able to kill them with my iron arrows. After a lot of running around, I finally managed to find a good safe spot. But this really isn't going very well. I've used a lot of arrows already, and I've only managed to hit 1 damage. I'm starting to think I'm not strong enough for this. And now it's healed its hit point back. This isn't working, I need something weaker. Seagulls it is. They aren't going to give me anything I need, but at least I can hit them. Clearly my range is too weak for anything else. And there is 30 range and a chunk task completed. I decided to stay at the seagulls the entire way because honestly I still don't think I'll be strong enough to kill a wolf with my setup. Instead I'll just melee them. This is so much better. Once I have killed all 4 wolves for their bones, I can pick up this cabbage, a potato, a tomato, an onion, these iqua leaves and these dougal leaves. Then I have everything I need to start the quest. Let's do this. The second quest on the account. I can start the quest by talking to Rants, who wants me to make him some ogre arrows. These arrows aren't just important for the quest, but will play a vital role for this entire chunk's grind. Let me explain why. Ogre arrows aren't like normal arrows. They can only be fired using an ogre bow. In order to make these arrows, you first need to use a knife on acorn tree logs to make ogre arrow shafts, then add feathers to create flighted ogre arrows, and finally, chisel wolf bones into wolf bone arrow tips and combine everything to make completed ogre arrows. And why is this important? Well, if you remember those 4,000 chompies I need to kill, they can only be damaged using ogre arrows, which means I'm going to be making a lot of them. Now on with the quest. I've made Rancy's arrows, and that should gain me access to his cave. What a beautiful home, but I'm here to steal something very important, some ogre bellows. These bellows are crucial for my current task. They can be filled with strange swamp gas and used to inflate innocent little toads, making bloated toads. That sounds rather strange, but its importance will become clear soon. In return for some bloated toads, he has given me a bow. That completes everything I need to kill a chompy. But before I do that, let me explain how this works. In order for a chompy to spawn, I need to place a toad on the ground as bait. This is why they are so important. Chompies will not appear without the bloated toad incentive. If I'm lucky, one chompy will spawn for every toad I place on the ground. Each toad will last 1 minute before exploding, and rolls a chance at spawning a chompy every 15 seconds. Now I wait for a spawn. Oh, there it is. Aw, it looks so cute. Why can't I kill something less cute? Interestingly, pre-2007 chompies used to look like this, so they definitely had the cuteness upgrade. Now to pluck the poor bird's feathers and carcass. I don't need to pluck the chompy for the kill count. However, I'm going to need to do this additional step every kill in order to collect enough feathers for the arrows. Oh god, I didn't realise he was going to eat it. I'm so sorry, little bird. And on that sad note, this should be the quest completed. Now I have 4 quest points and the ability to make ogre arrows. That's also another task completed. Before the real grind begins, there is just one more thing I need to do. I need to get prepared with a nice stack of arrows. Luckily, I have 1.6k feathers to start with stashed away from a maze random. But even with this, that will only make around 400 ogre arrows. Each arrow shaft requires 4 feathers, but in order to make usable ogre arrows, I also need the wolf bones for the tips and the achy logs for the shafts. That means I need to kill 100 wolves and chop 100 trees before I can even start fletching. There is also the option to upgrade them into brutal ogre arrows by adding metal nails. However, this requires an anvil to smith the nails, which I don't have in my chunks, so I am stuck with the weakest arrows available. Not ideal for such a long grind, but we work with it. Wait, I get crafting XP from this? Those are the first crafting levels on the account. That's actually amazing. I didn't realise I'd be getting crafting levels. Those will be super useful towards 1k total. That's a welcome surprise. The arrows are ready, my bow is equipped. Now I just need a full supply of bellows and I'm ready to start hunting. According to the wiki, the optimal strategy is to fill my inventory with as many bellows as possible while leaving 3 empty inventory spaces. This way I can maximise the number of toads I inflate at once and reduce the number of trips back to the swamp. Now let the hunting begin. I've decided to use this swamp to hopefully be able to multitask, chop trees for arrow shafts while also catching chompies. But there is one major problem. The wolves and the ogres. Both continually attack me, making it impossible to spawn the chompies. So before I can begin, I have to spend 10 minutes and aggroing the monsters so they will leave me alone. The best hunting spot is south of Castle Wars, but that chunk is still locked. So for now I need to try and make this swamp work and optimise my own method. Let's see how this goes. No, this is not working. Every time I try and attack a chompy, something else aggroes onto me because I've accidentally reset aggro. To make things even worse, I'm using way more arrows per kill than I thought. I did a quick DPS calculation and I should use 4 arrows per kill. If I don't pick up any arrows, that is only a measly 100 KC from all my starting arrows. That's crazy. I'm going to need to make so many arrows. No, I am done with this spot. The wolves are driving me crazy, and I've hardly even started. There's another swamp over here I can try. It has fewer ogres and no wolves. I won't be able to make my arrow shafts, but at this point, I don't care. I'm so stressed out, I think I need a break. I worked really hard on this video, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. If this grind doesn't deserve a subscription, I don't know what does. And if you want to provide additional support, check out my membership below. Thank you! After yesterday's disaster, I've come down a little bit, so back to chompies it is. I only managed to get 21 KC yesterday, which is nothing, so I'd better get grinding or I'll be here forever. This spot definitely seems better, so hopefully I can find a few more ways to make this less unbearable. I've managed to find a plugin called Chompy Hunter. It claims to improve the chompy hunting experience. It isn't very pretty, but I do love the way it highlights the chompies and adds a countdown timer. When multiple chompies spawn at once, I know which to target first, so I miss less kills. The main issue is the overlay can't be turned off, and I'd rather be blissfully unaware of how awful my kills per hour are. I'd give it a 5 out of 10, but I'll keep using it just for the countdown timers. Time to experiment. Maybe there's a way to make this whole experience even more efficient. A big problem is the chompies keep running outside of the unaggroed area, which means I can't pluck them for their feathers. But if I can use my main to dark claw them back into my zone, I'd be able to collect more feathers. Time for some science. Can I dark claw this chompy with my main account? No, magic simply won't affect this beast. Damn it, Jagex, that would have been so useful. Alright, how about this instead? What if I spawn chompies with my main account, but kill them on my chunk account? Would that count towards my kill count? Nope, this is not your chompy bird to shoot. Double damn it. After that disappointment, maybe this mystery box will bring some happiness. Not a word. Not a single word. Moving on. I am beyond fed up with this ogre constantly re-aggroing onto me. It's making things way harder than they need to be. So I've made an executive decision and I brought my main account to splash on it to keep it out of the way. I know some people don't like the use of ults, but sometimes it is necessary. And I am using my own account now to relax. Or so I thought. Am I seriously being crashed right now? Of all the places. I mean look, these aren't even my chompies. I can't attack them and the plugin can't even tell whose is whose. Why are you here? I guess I'll have to cut this trip short. Once I stopped getting crashed, things became so much nicer with the ogre out of the way. Don't get me wrong, this still sucks, but I did manage to get 277 KC with the original 400 arrows, and enough feathers back to do it all over again. Before I head back to the chompy grind with a fresh stack of arrows, I need a bit of motivational dopamine. And what better way to get that than completing some tasks? Can I have a hat please? Thank you. Thank you again, and again, and again, again, and again. That's halfway to a full collection log. 9 out of 18. If only I was halfway on the KC as well. I would love to get the chompy chick pet. It's so cute. But unfortunately, it's impossible for me. The pet is only obtainable after completing the Western Province Elite Diary, which I'm not even close to being able to complete, so I must carry on with my 4000 pet list kills. There is 1000 KC, 1/4 of the way there. This is definitely getting nicer as my range level goes up. I can now hit 7s, so I often 2-hit the chompies, which is a big improvement. My arrows are still looking good as well, so putting in the extra time to pick up every single arrow is definitely paying off. Here's to 3000 more. Halfway there. Those 1.3k arrows got me 1.7k kills. So I shouldn't need to make many more arrows. While I do that grind again, I invited along a special guest to teach you a little more about the chompy bird.
The Feldip Hills is home to the magnificent chompy bird. Here, amidst the tall grasses and rocky outcrops, the chompy birds can be found grazing around, ever vigilant for the slightest disturbance. The chompy bird much resembles that of a dodo, with its distinctive round body, large bulbous head and impressive beak giving it an almost Jurassic look. Its yellow plumage is somewhat scruffy, often appearing a bit unkempt, and its legs are short and stout, suited for running rather than flying. Its beak, used to devour toads which inhabit the swamps of the Feldip Hills. The toad, swollen and grotesque, is dropped upon the ground by the hunter. The scent of the toad, its heavy, pungent aroma, attracts the chompy birds who, with their curious nature, are drawn to investigate. One by one, they approach, unsuspecting of the danger that awaits them. The hunter, poised and patient, takes aim with precision. A shot from a specially designed bow brings down the unsuspecting bird. And yet, despite the relentless hunting, the chompy bird population shows no sign of decline. How can this be? We may never know.
And with that, I return to chompies for the final stretch. The end is in sight. I don't need to pluck them anymore for the feathers, but if you know me, I love stacking things, so I'll carry on collecting them anyways. At last, I am almost done. I just need to spawn one more chompy and I have killed all 4000, and I am so happy to be done. The bait has been laid and I wait for the final chompy. I have to say, 4000 chompies is way too many. Whoever thought this was a good idea needs firing. Small rant over, because there is my final chompy. Please die so I can leave this place forever. Oh my god, I'm done. I'm done. Wait, I just got 30k range XP. I didn't even know that was a thing. That was a nice surprise, but totally not worth the time this just took me. Pluck the last chompy, and with that, please get me away from here forever. Let's pack these bellows and my juicy stack of feathers, and it's time for something I've actually been looking forward to, completing more tasks. Hello ants, I would like the rest of my very well deserved hats please. The first one, hello game. Apparently the game is so shocked that I finished 4,000 kills that I just broke it. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Hat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally hat number 10. Look at that, the 4,000 chompy hat. Was it worth it? Absolutely not, but I'm going to wear it with pride. That was a huge number of tasks completed in one go, and most importantly, probably the worst chunk I'll ever get has been completed. I think this is the perfect place to end this episode, in my sexy new hat. I gained some really nice range levels this episode, as well as the first crafting levels on the account, and of course, I completed 24 tasks. I may have lost my sanity, but I finally get to roll a new chunk. That will be for next episode, so don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on my next grueling grind. If this doesn't deserve a sub, I don't know what does. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I would like to say a big thank you to those who joined my YouTube membership, my low tier Implings, Crispy Tater and my newest high tier Impling, Mudeng Man, and a special thank you to Dave E for being a rare tier Impling. I really appreciate the additional support. If you'd like to join my channel, the button can be found below the video next to the subscription button. Thank you again,